What's up, Faith family? Jarvis Guy in the Word, Jarvis YT here, and welcome back to another Diecast review. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Hot Wheels Porsche Panamera, which was first introduced in 2016 as a Multipack Exclusive. Now, full disclosure, I'm not too familiar with the Porsche Panamera outside of its appearance in Need for Speed Most Wanted, which, funnily enough, I have right here, where it was a playable car that you could get if you drove into downtown. I never really played with it much. I always thought that the other Porsches featured in the game, including the one literally featured on the box, were always much cooler to play with because the Porsche Panamera's cool factor is honestly really diminished by the fact that it's a four-door car. I'm not sure, in real life how its performance stacks up to like the 911s or the Spiders or other Porsche concept cars. But honestly, man, I think even in diecast form, the four-door thing really does kind of detract from the vehicle. It's honestly kind of a shame because you have all the classic Porsche identifiers like the obvious headlight shapes and I guess the overall body shaping. But Panamera has always felt like an awkward car to me. It's always felt like it's wanted to be the Dodge Charger of the Porsche brand, but I don't really think it's ever worked out in any real way for him, because whenever people talk about Porsche, they always talk about the 911. It's always about the Spider or whatever other crazy car that they've come up with. But I think in terms of how they translated the Porsche Panamera to diecast, I think they honestly did an excellent job. I really am a fan of the color choices that they decided to go with for this car. I really do appreciate the blue tinted windows against the, I guess, lighter gray shade of paint that they went for. Also appreciate the detail in the headlights. I don't know if they really bothered to do much detail on the sort of emblem there, but it is identifiable. You can tell it's the Porsche logo, even if there's, no substantial painting there to indicate that it is so. And on the back, we even have the intelligible license plate, which is always good to see. And I say this in the nicest way possible, but the back of this car honestly kind of looks like shit. It kind of looks like the back of a station wagon. And personally, I like station wagons, but to be clear, that's just kind of what the back looks like to me. But yeah, overall, man, the execution of this car was pretty good, but it just doesn't really help that the main concept behind it is just sort of lame, and I don't really think there was anything that Mattel or Hot Wheels could have done to avoid that. But either way, in terms of recommendations, this car was released in 2016 as a multi-pack exclusive. So not only is this car past the sort of 5-year mark that would affect my recommendation, but it's also a multi-pack exclusive, which would mean that it would be innately harder to find because it was only sold in 5-packs. So because they didn't sell it individually, you're not going to have the benefit of people buying this individually and then selling it for a price that would reflect that. No, this is just going to be high no matter what, because at minimum you would have to pay, or back in the day you would have had to pay like $5 to get a hold of this thing. But yeah, man, with all those factors combined, this is a not recommend for me. And it's a shame too, because I think the diecast designers made some really interesting choices when it came to the coloring and design, and honestly the small fitting details that they added to this vehicle. But I think the biggest thing that holds this car back, aside from its age and aside from its multi-pack exclusive status, is that this isn't really one that's worth actively seeking out, because it's a Porsche Panamera. I mean, it can be the best design in the world. Hell, this could be a Matchbox. And, with just a honestly lame concept with the car, I just can't see how I could recommend this. Honestly, man. I just can't. Unless you really appreciate Porsches. But even then, I still wouldn't recommend this because you're going to be paying way too much for this. But either way, man, I think they'll wrap up my review of the Hot Wheels Porsche Panamera, which was first introduced in 2016 as a multi-pack exclusive. I've been your host, Jarvis Gotten. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more diecast content. And as always, giggity giggity, giggity goo. Stick around.